All right, welcome to Gangsta and Gandhi, where we create safe spaces for real talk conversation. Today, we are actually going to dive into a dream that Aisha had, Gandhi, and so I know that both you and I were big on dreams. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
We both believe that God can speak to you in a dream, and so we don't take that lightly. We've even had experiences where those dreams kind of come into play. And so you had this dream that When did you have this dream?
That's a good question. When did I have that dream? I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, one thing about
Um,
Aisha, you got them handy dandy notes.
yeah, somewhat.
You had this dream I would say at least a month ago,
I'm thinking at least a month as well.
and it keeps just like showing up in real life. So we thought this might be a good topic. So if you could just break down that part of that dream.
Yeah, so I won't go through the whole thing, but the part that pertains to us that keeps coming to us was regarding a hazmat. So you all, in case you're not familiar, a hazmat is a suit that you typically wear when there's some type of chemical or some type of pollutant that can kind of harm you. The hazmat is a form of protection that you will wear. It includes like an entire suit with a mask and everything. And in the dream that I had,
Wait, quick question, because I know I didn't know what the heck that was when you sent it to me. Did you know what that was?
yeah, so I have seen like hazmat suits before, like an orange suit. I have seen it. I didn't
Oh, I thought that
understand
was
the
a jail
fullness
suit.
of it, but yeah, I have seen some.
Okay.
Yeah, so like on TV shows, yeah, I've seen
When
at
I
least
think of
one.
hazmat suit, I go straight to Monsters Inc. The yellow fit.
So yeah, something like that.
Okay, cool. Okay,
so,
that's the
um,
vision I get with the sock, especially the part when you had the sock on them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But no, in the dream, there was a part where a woman ended up telling me. There were actually two main things she said. The first part was that she ended up saying that it's okay if sometimes you have to dip before you go into this healthy aspect of your life. And the second part, which honestly there were parts in between, but the second part that I remember was her saying that in this new season we're not going to wear the hazmat anymore. We're going to take off the hazmat. And so that's the part that's really been pertaining to us, that's been coming up many times. I actually had to look up the meaning or of hazmat in like the specific situations where people wear it after having that dream, because I just didn't understand the importance of that. But it's been an unraveling like throughout conversations, throughout different experiences that we've had, and it's been a beautiful thing, to be honest.
Absolutely. I know you mentioned that you had been looking up different scenarios when people would wear them. Can you break that down?
Okay, hold on. I should have my tablet over.
Yeah, handy dandies.
Yes, it's given. I need my tablet. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
So when I looked up hazmat or when do people wear hazmat, it said people wear hazmat suits when they need to protect themselves from hazardous materials, such as when working in environments with toxic chemicals, cleaning up chemical spills, responding to a biological incident, working in a nuclear facility, or when dealing with potentially infectious diseases in a medical setting, like during a pandemic. When I researched why might someone take off their hazmat, I received information that someone would take off their hazmat suit when they are no longer in a hazardous environment, meaning the risk of exposure to harmful chemicals, biological agents, or radiation has significantly decreased, allowing them to safely remove the protective gear and return to normal clothing.
Hmm. And that's been such a blessing for me because I'll be in certain situations and I'll recognize when I have the mask on. And I'll tell myself, like, you got it on. And typically it's my body or my mind recognizes a threat that's not really there.
Yeah.
And it may be growing up, or it may be just like I call it what do I typically say? I say that it's yikes, I'm trying to think. I'll call it survival or something like that.
Survivalist mentality, or
No, I say it all the time. I'll say you operating from a survival place. I forgot. I can't think about it. But I'll typically wear it when I view a threat, and it could be something. It's not really a threat. Say again.
survival mode.
That could be it. Survival mode or yikes. I know it's a certain term that I like to use. I'm sure it will come to me. Um, but lately I'll be in situations that, and they could be people that I grew up with, family members or something, where as a child I thought that that was a threat, though it's not threatening. And then I'll tell my, and I'll notice even my body. I'll notice, that and that's why it's so important to get back in touch with your body. And that's one thing that I've been working on this year, noticing that, your heartbeat is beating a little quicker, noticing that, you got shortness of breath. And I peep game on that and tell myself, like, take the hazmat mask off. Because it's not a threat, but for some reason the old part of you views it as a threat. And I have to remind myself that's not what it is. You can chill here. That you're safe. Everything's gonna be okay. And so it's interesting because I'm big on reading individually, and I'm big on reading when it comes down to the kids. So typically at night we'll have like we'll have a book that we read, and we'll have we'll do like a journal entry, do some like filling work, and then we'll read a chapter of a book. And it's interesting because after this dream, the first time I've ever seen that term is in the book. Take a picture, I snap, and I'm like, I send it over to you. I was like, what is the chances like that I'm seeing this thing? And so it keeps reoccurring where and you had a peep game in your own life when you're talking to people, maybe members of your family, or your spouse, or people you grew up with, people that you're comfortable with, and you find yourself feeling threatened. You find yourself frustrated, irritable, or whatever the case is, scared. Typically, that's what it is, scared, and you're not even in danger.
Yeah, like even when it comes to hazmat, like I recognize like we had that time period where we were kind of trying to define it and figure out what it meant to us. I feel like we're still doing that.
Yeah.
Um, even when it came to hazmat, it's taking
Is
me
it
a minute.
hazmat or hazmask? It's hazmat.
Hazmat.
Say again.
Hazmat. So MAT.
I'm making you do work. I'm making you do work now. That's a problem.
Let's see.
I'm gonna bring.
I'm talking.
Go ahead and talk in there really quick.
Hi.
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 It's foolishness. She said, "Hey." So a hazmat is something that you put on when you're in danger.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen yourself put that on in real life when it's not even necessary?
Definitely, but I think one of the things I'm kind of trying to figure out is what that looks like for me. Because I feel like there's a difference between bracing yourself and constantly living from a more braced position. Like, it's different if I'm responding to something briefly as opposed to constantly operating in a manner to where I'm always wearing a hazmat suit. And so my issue is, I remember we used to be part of a stream, and one of the women on the stream ended up saying, it's hard to change your mindset when you've been thinking it and believing it for your whole life.
I think she messed me up when she said that. She said, "How can you change your mind when you've been spending 20 years thinking this way?" And that always stuck with me.
And so that's pretty much like, how do you recognize when you're wearing a hazmat or when you're not? How do you recognize it when this has always been in your life? How do you know when something is sending you in the right direction and when something is not, when it's all you know? And so I think that's been my issue so far. It's like, yes, I understand I need to remove this hazmat because I'm not in a dangerous situation, even though my mind believes it's so, even though that's what anxiety is telling me, like, you need to brace for impact. But how do I know when that's not right? And so I think that's been what I've been dealing with.
One of the things that I like to say, I often say, is that we will choose what is comfortable to us, even when it's not beneficial. And at times, wearing the hazmat suit is comfortable because you are scared. And wearing the hazmat suit tells you that you're safe. I share this with you. I was listening to a book, and they were saying that in bullfighting, I think the term is the matador, or
Yes, matador.
yes. So in order to be beneficial in this fight and to have the upper gain over this bull, what they would typically do is go to a safe space on the, I don't even know what's called, arena or the field or whatever, because I used to watch that for entertainment, like for giggles. I did, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm not interested. And so they would go to a place where they will find safety. And because when they find safety, then they're no longer afraid. And when they're no longer afraid, then they show up as powerful. And so what I realize is when we put this hazmat suit on, you put it on because you're afraid.
Yeah.
And because you're afraid, you put this suit on, but then you're not powerful. You're not powerful because you're afraid of what is not a threat. And so you show up from not, I mean, even when your fight, flight, and freeze shows up, you don't think clearly. So you're not thinking clearly because you got the suit on. And you have the suit on because of the fact that you find yourself in danger. And so the truth is, we cultivate these defense mechanisms. Yeah. We cultivate these coping strategies. We cultivate this hazmat suit that we put on, and it can look different ways, such as when I'm uncomfortable, I leave, or when I feel like I have to be too vulnerable, I cut off the relationship. There's different things that we've taught ourselves as a safety mechanism that is not beneficial to you. But to a certain degree it is, because it makes you feel comfortable. It's not beneficial to you in the long run. In the short term, yeah, it feels good. It feels safe. But you're not getting the full quality of life that you are deserving of because you wear the hazmat suit. Yeah. And so I'm starting to peep game with that now within myself when I'm having conversations and I get this childhood threat, and I'm like, yeah, you good. You wearing the suit. Take it off because you ain't got to wear it. And yeah, that dream has blessed me.
Yeah, we have to recognize that the same things that may have helped us survive may not be the same things that help us thrive. And so, yeah, you may make it to the next day, but you can't guarantee that you're going to receive the best that you can. And so, yeah, got to get rid of the hazmat.
Absolutely. And so Even and I think there's a lot of flags that will tell you that you're wearing it and will create these storylines as to no, I did it because this like I thank God that I'm growing, but one of my things that I used to do in the past was like blame other people. Yeah, I'm like that because of this, or I'm going through that because of this, and it's like no, uh-uh. When I started to focus on myself, I found so much growth in that. Understanding that my external circumstances should not dictate my internal.
Yeah.
If anything, my internal circumstances dictate my outward. But when you wear a hazmat suit, you look at everything outward as to what they doing, what she doing, what you know what I mean, or where my money at, where like you look at the outternal to express your internal peace, but it don't work like that. And so that's what comes to my mind as well.
That's a good point too. Even as you were speaking, I think one of the ways that you can recognize when you're wearing a hazmat suit is if you're responding to a story of someone prior to you allowing them to live out and be themselves. And so if you already have an idea that somebody's going to attack you, and you've never really gotten the time to know the person to understand, whether or not that's the angle they're coming from, you're going to respond as if you're going to get attacked. Um, if you think everybody is out to get you, you're going to respond to innocent people who are not out to get you as if they're out to get you. If you believe that everyone's lying to you, you're going to think that everybody's lying to you, and you're going to respond in that manner. So if you already have a story decided for the person that you're with, for the person that you're interacting with, the person that you're encountering, before you actually even let them live out who they are, then there's a chance you wearing a hazmat. Like, I mean, I don't think there's any other. That's probably the best way to put it. Like, if you haven't given them that chance and you've already determined who they are, that's probably a hazmat.
I thank you for saying that because I recognize that in my past, I would wear the suit so much longer than necessary. I remember listening to a well-known therapist, and his client had asked him, "Do you still get tripped up in your thinking? Do you still get tripped up in those situations?" And he said, "Absolutely." He said, "But I'm quicker to get out." And I recognize that for me, the exit out quickly is recognize stopping and recognizing what's going on inside of me. So even what you're saying, so let's say I feel under attack or I feel defensive, you can feel that. And I'm like, hold up, wait, what's going on? Or you feel like I was saying that the rapid heartbeat or the shortness of breath. You pick that up, or tensing within your body. You pick that up, and then you stop. And you're like, wait, hold on. I'm switching up for a second. What's going on inside of me? And when you can pinpoint what's going on, starts with how am I feeling? What's going on with me right now? I feel scared. Why do you feel scared? Typically, when I have that time with myself, it will always point the finger to me. I feel like a failure. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I can do this. It's a me thing. It's not a them thing. And so that I realize helps me strip that suit off because it's like, hold on, this got to do with you. So let's have a meeting, Gab, me and you, and let's pinpoint what's going on, and let's handle that accordingly. And that has been the thing that I have not worn the suit longer than necessary. In my past, I've struggled with having like fits of anger and explosive moments, and one of the things that helped me jump out of that is sitting down and not ignoring myself. A lot of times we talk about abandonment. Abandonment starts with you. Typically, you abandon yourself by not being there, not being present in what's going on with you, by running off and not sitting with yourself and being honest about, man, hold on, let me stop here. Because what we'll do is we'll keep busy. You know what I mean? We'll keep busy, or we'll do whatever we have to do to kind of ignore and run from what's going on within. Instead of doing that, sitting down saying, wait, hold up. What's going on here? What's going on inside of you? Like, what's up here? Like, me, Gangsta, we have a little rap. We have a little battle. I'm like, yo, what's up with you? Like, what's going on with you right now? What's wrong? And I'll literally have to sit with myself and give myself the attention that I'm looking for, because I don't feel seen. I'm going to see myself. A lot of times we look for other people to see us when really you just need to see your own self. You're ignoring your own self. And that, for me, has been the trick to take that suit off.
That kind of brings me to the idea of perhaps a good question to ask is, how many reactions that we have are actually responses to past experiences and not a response to the person in front of us?
It's a difference between reacting and responding. Yeah. And I think the reacting typically shows up when we're ignoring. So sitting down, being aware of where we're at, and then being able to respond from that place. You know, I mentioned this before. I know you like, nah, that ain't for me, but those deep breaths. I'm back to the deep breaths, Aisha! She said, stop. I don't like the deep breaths. Stop talking about them.
It does not work for me. It does not work for me. That look around, how many items are blue? Like, no.
I see why that helps. No, I know you said, like, looking at colors helps. It doesn't matter if it's, looking, because I know you said something along lines like, find something that's green, find something that's...
That hasn't been working out too well for me.
Okay, never mind.
Especially the breaths, like the...
I know the breaths ain't for you. That's my near and dear.
Yeah, no, those breaths don't help me. Like, baby, I'm breathing in more frustration.
Here we go.
I'm about to exhale rage. Like, no, it's not giving. It's not giving.
I'm weak. I'm about to exhale the Hulk up in this jam. We about to turn to Marvel.
Man, yeah, no.
I think that for me, I'm recognizing, because it took me a long time. It takes a long time to get it. It took me years of practicing that to recognize. The key point of it for me was being aware. I'm taking a pause. I'm looking within myself. What's going on with you? I'm giving myself the attention that I'm needing and seeking. And what we do when we attention seek, we do it in different unhealthy ways. But I'm seeking the attention, and instead of me ignoring myself and running to something, I'm going to sit with myself and see what it is I need. And so that's why I find that very helpful, so that I can take a pause. Rather it is you looking around the room for a color or taking a deep breath, whatever mechanism works for you where you can be grounded. The point of it is to let me sit down and not ignore myself. Yeah. And that's the thing that has helped me tremendously. Not ignore. I recognize I've ignored myself for way too long, and I don't give myself the opportunity to do that anymore. And I think it's so important to know that you matter enough to be seen, and to be seen by you. Before you want somebody else to give you what it is that you need, give it to yourself first. That's working from the inside out. Thank y'all for watching Gangsta and Gandhi, and tune in on the next one.